Hey guys, so you reached me on a particularly foggy February morning. This is the 17th. We've actually had freezing fog this morning, which is a little out of the norm. But if I'll roll a little B-roll, you'll see that our roof has unloaded again, pole barn roof. This time I let it sit, so it's pretty froze in. So we'll see how the tractor handles it being pretty frozen. We've got a winter storm warning coming. Supposed to get 8 to 12 inches. So we'll see how much of that we actually get, but I really need to get this cleaned up first. So what I'm going to start with today is just going through and greasing my loader. I've got some high moly grease and it's due for a little greasing, so come on along. So I'm just going to go through and grease our loader right now. I was going to ask, did any of you guys use the Milwaukee grease guns? I never really thought I had a need for a automatic grease gun, but the more I've owned this tractor, this high moly grease, man, it is just constantly putting more on there. And I feel like, you know, maybe something electronic to kind of help me out there might not be such a bad idea. So the reasoning I have for filming today is not really the tractor or cleaning up our barn, but I'd like to walk you guys through and kind of show you what projects we have in mind for this year. Man, this really did not take. This high moly grease is good stuff, but man, I'll tell you what, in this colder weather, it is thick. I just kind of wanted to walk through and kind of look at some of the projects we're going to try working on this year. Not just for you guys, but for me to help kind of wrap my mind around what I want to get done. Oh yeah, that time we're getting a little more. Yeah, we've definitely got our use out of this loader. All right, we'll go in and clean the snow off the bottom. Yeah, this bucket has definitely used its fair share. The rest of the loader, the grease actually looks like it's still pretty well packed in there, but where the loader tilts, you can tell it's been doing a lot of work this year. We're almost to 50 hours, so I'm gonna have to order filters. I think it's probably best just to take this loader right off when I do it. That'll give me good access to all the filters and stuff I gotta change. I'll have to change 2 hydraulic filters. We'll have to change the fuel filter. Oh, this side's gonna take some grease. I'm gonna have to order a case of this stuff. Yeah, you know, grease a U-joint here or there, or maybe a ball joint here or there, but till I had a tractor. Now we're in the big leagues. I need something to handle this a little better. Man, I just got this stuff coming everywhere. If there's a cleaner way to do this, leave it in the comments. Let's get this warming up. Let's see just how well we can handle this crap. Oil plug for a few seconds here. This will be interesting. I think this is going to be quite the challenge. It's all ice underneath, and it sitting has given it opportunity to pack up. So I think that tractor is going to have its work cut out for it. Like I said in the past video, a set of roof rails or a lean-to over here is what's going to be needed. Well, let's start talking about what our plans are for this year. First and foremost, I'm going to try renting a scissor lift or some form of a boom lift so I can get myself up in the air and take these guys out. So these white pines next to the barn have been pretty heavily damaged by our ice storm. I don't know if you can see the top of this one is dead. The second one in doesn't have any branches all the way to the top. It's gonna be quite an exhilarating experience. I'm not usually one for heights, but we got a quote for about $8,000 to take these 4 trees out, and I've got saws and a tractor, and a rental for a lift is about $350 a day. I have a hard time not at least trying it. I mean, if I can get this one right here, the first dead one, I mean, if I have to pay for the other ones, whatever, but this one needs to come down now. So I originally thought what I was gonna do this year is clean up all these standing dead trees back here from the ice storm, but I got it widened out enough and I got all the overhanging ones down enough that that's gonna kind of become like an extracurricular activity. The more of these I can get down, the better. But what we're gonna do for starters, this is our old chicken run. And we put that in 2016 when we got our first batch of buff Orpingtons, which was like a year after we moved into the place. So what we're gonna do is pull those T-posts in the gates, pull all the fence, and I'm gonna take all these trees out. What we've got is like a little island of trees, and then back in here, it's cleared out. So what I wanna do is clear all of it out. It's kind of a big undertaking, but I kind of want to put a little play area in for the kids. Swing set, sandbox, all that stuff. I want to get that taken care of so they can play now while they're still young. So that's going to be my big undertaking. So what we're going to do with chickens, we've got our little temporary enclosure over here. That's worked really well. We haven't lost a single bird. We're thinking about using that Temu covered fenced in area as a place to raise meat birds. I will move that probably over in this area. And this is gonna become the area that we're going to set up our next chicken run. I'm gonna clear all this stuff out of here and we'll fence all this in, probably putting the coops on the north side up here. And yeah, this will be our chicken run. It'll be away from the neighbor's house, so it should be a little quieter for her and her child, which is something that's been in the back of our heads. We've had our chicken run over there, but our previous neighbor really never came outside, so it wasn't a problem. But our current neighbor's outside most of the summer, so if you can get the chickens a little bit away from her house, she'd probably appreciate that. And another thing I want to do is fence our yard in, just this small area. The chicken run's going to help out with that a bit, but this main yard area, I want to run the fence right along the back here, do maybe a gate for going out back. That way we've got a fenced in area for the kids to play. One of the big things we've wrestled with is with 3 of them, if you're by yourself at home, they can go in 3 different directions at once, and it's not safe. So fencing in the yard is pretty much going to be a must. And that way they can play, and it'll be a little less stressful for mom and dad to get them outside, because that's really where you want them to be. Inside's not a place to be, but it's kind of been what we've used, because when you're by yourself, it's too much. It's too much. They're at an age where they don't listen, and it's not their fault. And they really just could use a little bit more space to run around. So that's what I want to give it to them. So those are the main things I want to try to get done this year. We're going to continue to build our infrastructure here. We're going to do meat birds again. We're going to expand our flock of egg layers. And hopefully we get this fenced in area a little bit better figured out and sorted out than we had last run. Take a little extra time and make sure it's extra safe for the birds, because I don't want to be dealing with the raccoons like that again. I'm going to look into getting some different traps, so we can keep running traps for raccoons, because they absolutely decimated our flock last year. So we bought our tractor. A couple of the attachments we got that I was really ecstatic about. Number one was the grapple. That thing has been awesome. I can't say it enough. Getting a third function and a grapple on this has been just wonderful. This machine has worked so well for us in cleaning this stuff out. Like seeing some of the shots from when this ice storm had just happened and seeing all the downed trees. Like we did most of that I mean, we had friends come and help, and we're so thankful for that. But the tractor helped us out so much too. That magnified our efforts in a way that you just can't really quantify. Yeah, it definitely sped things up. But so we got forks for it, pallet forks. We've got the grapple. We've got a bucket. We've got a box blade. For this project here, I'd like to see if I can get a 3-point stump grinder. Because if we can get, I mean, there's a lot of trees here to grind the stumps on. But if we can get this mostly laying flat, I mean, even if I got to wood chip this area in, it's kind of like a play area. I think a stump grinder is going to help out a lot. So that's the next implement I'm really eyeballing. After that, maybe a brush hog, because it would be nice to kind of be able to clear out behind the house. That I think I'm just going to try finding secondhand. I'm going to probably try to find a new stump grinder, but I'll probably look for a 5-foot brush hog for this. So I've seemed to find them pretty readily on Facebook Marketplace. Some of them are a little bit rough, but $500-600, I think we can get a lot of function out of that money. So I think, let's go see how the tractor. I know I've said this a few times, but this used to be a multi-hour project for me. If I can be honest, had this happened before I had the TYM, I probably just left it. That's so heavy, it's just like cement. I feel like I end every video with, gosh, I love this tractor. It's true. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have some more content coming for you in the future. We've got a farm truck I have to introduce in a new series that we're gonna start with that. So I'll be filming that shortly. Have a great day.